Hello, this is JC De Guzman for today's daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis. This is for August 29th, Thursday, in preparation for the last trading day of the week and of the month of August, Friday. So, as always, I'd like to remind you three things. Number one, this video is for short term trading purposes only. Number two, if you happen to see the dominant range moving lower or higher than the dominant range that you're about to see for each of these 10 stocks, and if you happen to be interested in trading that particular stock, make sure that you request or post a request for that stock's latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum. And lastly, before you do a test buy, make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Of course, it goes without saying that your 10 MACD combo must be valid and that your momentum power indicator must be bullish before you do a test buy. Unless and until you are satisfied with your triple R, do not do a test buy within the dominant range. Alright? So let's begin with the first stock in our list. We got PHA. So this stock closed today at 0.63, support is at 0.53, resistance is at 0.78. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 2.9 million pesos. The good news today is that the 10 SMACD combo is valid. RSI is in the neutral territory, it's upward sloping. However, the risk level of PHA is already extremely high, meaning to say this is not a newbie friendly stock. Now, even though the negative DMI is still moving above the positive DMI, I am already seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. It would be better, of course. It will give me a more bullish stance on PHA once it breaks above the resistance at 0.78. Now, here's the dominant range. It's between 0.58 to 0.65. That's closer to the intraday high than the intraday low. So all in all, my momentum power indicator is bullish. On the other hand, the mood of the top 10 brokers today was bearish. So nonetheless, the true market sentiment is not a barometer for the stock's next probable direction. It's only a mood, a sentiment checker within the indicated period on the chart, which is today. Now, my overall sentiment for PHA is bullish. Why? The 10 MACD combo is valid. The momentum power indicator is bullish. So you have a data-driven basis if you would like to top up or enter a new position. Just make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio first if you are a newcomer to the stock. Okay? Next, we got GEO. This stock closed today at 0.229. It managed to break above the downtrend channel right here. Support is at 0.2. Yeah, 0.2. Resistance is at 0.28. No, resistance is at 0.20, 0.25 rather, 0.25, which is in confluence with the 23.6% retracement. That's a precursor to 0.28, which is aligned to the 38.2% retracement of the Fibonacci. Okay? But support is at 0.2. Now, the 10 SMACD combo is already valid. And RSI is in the neutral territory. It's upward sloping. Risk level remains moderate, but it's just less than 2 points away from getting a high risk level. And the upward momentum is already very strong. Let's take a look at the dominant range. So here's the dominant range of GEO. It's between 0.26 to 0.3. So all in all, the momentum power indicator is bullish. The mood of the top 10 brokers was neutral for today. So the dominant range or the overall sentiment for GEO is technically bullish. Our 10 SMACD combo is valid and true market sentiment is uh, the momentum power indicator is bullish and the 10 MACD combo is valid. Now, if you'd like, here's my reminder. Even though we have a data-driven signal or basis to top up or to enter a new position, I suggest that you be very careful in trading GEO because it has, historically speaking, volume-related concerns. So if you were to ask me if I am going to trade GEO, probably not, because of the historically speaking, just like what I've mentioned, historical volume related concerns. So since this is not the only fish in the ocean, I think I'm better off finding some other stocks. But that's just me. That's me. So anyhow, if you still would like to give it a try, since your 10 MACD combo is valid and the momentum power indicator is bullish, you can give it a try. Be very conservative, however, because still that recommendation is influenced by my conservative, risk-averse stance or sentiment on GEO. So there you go. Next, Abacor. Again, ABA closed today at 0.85. Support is at 0.75, which is in confluence with the 38.2% retracement of the up Fibonacci. Resistance is at 0.88, which is aligned to the 61.8% retracement of the up Fibonacci as well. And next to that it's a precursor to 0.97. So the 10 SMACD combo is, unfortunately, it remains invalid because the MACD is still below the signal line. But I am already seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the MACD and the signal line. But I think that will only be realized once the price breaks above 0.88. Okay, RSI is in the neutral territory. It's upward sloping. Risk level is already high for Abacor. This is not a newbie-friendly stock. DMI, the downward momentum is still very strong. Like what I've mentioned, I prefer to see Abacor breaking or moving above 0.87 for me to remove the bearish part of my overall sentiment. The dominant range is between 0.82 to 0.86. Overall, my momentum power indicator for Abacor is bullish. On the other hand, the true market sentiment is bearish for Abacor for today. So even the top 10 brokers are adamant, or they did not have it. They were not having it for today in terms of buying Abacor at a higher price. So they were risk averse. They had a risk averse stance on Abacor as well. So same here. I would, even though the momentum power indicator is bullish, but since the 10 MACD combo is valid, I would rather wait for the price to break above 0.87. And ideally speaking, in this case, I'd like my 10 MACD combo to become valid first before I personally decide to jump into Abacor in terms of trading it for the short term or in the short term. Okay, that's my sentiment. I'm not that bullish yet on Abacor. I prefer to see the 10 MACD combo becoming valid once again. Next, VITA or VITA. It closed today at 1.17. Support is at 1.11. Resistance is at 1.36. The 10 MACD combo is not yet valid. The MACD is still moving below the signal line. RSI is in the neutral territory. Risk level is moderate. And let's see. There's already a formation of a bullish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI, even though the negative one is still hovering the positive one. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 3.4 million pesos today. Take note that the three SMAs are still aligned in a perfect bearish position. Now here's the dominant range. It's between 1.14 to 1.2. This is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. Therefore, I would say that the momentum power indicator is bearish in this case. The true market sentiment seems to agree with the bearish momentum power indicator because we also got a bearish true market sentiment for today for VITA. So, meaning to say, my overall sentiment remains bearish on VITA. If I'm going to draw a channel right here, it will obviously be still inside the downtrend channel. VITA has a lot of resistance levels to break before it could regain its position in a bullish both in the short term and long term scale. So I'm still bearish on VITA. I would prefer seeing the 10 SMACD combo becoming valid, and of course for the bullish momentum power indicator to be maintained before I decide to, you know, give a recommendation that you can go ahead and do a test buy on VITA. At this point, I would like to be in a risk-averse position on VITA on your behalf. So again, yes, the momentum power indicator is bullish, but the 10 SMACD combo is still invalid. Wait for the 10 SMACD combo to become valid once again. Okay, so I'm not going to advise you to top up. I'm not going to advise you to enter a new position in VITA for now, as far as this data is concerned. Next, TEI. It closed today at 9.8. Support is at 8.86. Resistance is at 9.81. Wow, it's 9.81 is a precursor to 10.86. The 10 SMACD combo is already valid. MACD broke above the signal line today. RSI is neutral level. It's upward sloping as well. The risk level remains low. So this is a newbie friendly stock, risk level wise. Even though the negative DMI is still hovering the positive DMI, I am also seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the two DMI lines. Okay. So foreign investors, how about them? They registered a net foreign buying worth 5.7 million pesos today. The true market sentiment shows us that the dominant range was between 9.59 to 9.8. So overall, the momentum power indicator is, let me make sure, it's bullish. The true market sentiment or the mood of the top 10 brokers today was bullish as well. So I like this. So if you are planning to enter a new position, you can go ahead, do a test buy within the dominant range. And if you're going to compute your reward to risk ratio with the, at this point, you can go ahead and treat 9.8 as the support and 10.86 as the resistance. Therefore, you will get a very attractive reward to risk ratio if that's the case, of course. So you can go ahead and do a test buy within the dominant range. Now, if you have had EEI for a few days already and you're asking me if you can do a top up, yes, you can. You may. You have the data-driven signals to do so. Provided you do it within the dominant range, I discourage you to do it at any random price outside the dominant range. All right, next, APO. It closed today at, unfortunately, a long red candlestick, 0.9. Support is at 0.99 itself. Resistance is at 0.99 as a precursor to 1.18. If it breaks below 0.9, 0.72 will become its immediate support. Foreign investors' participation is not significant on APO. I am not going to rely on the classical score on the scores of these oscillators like RSI, historical volatility, and DMI because of the inorganic ascent in price. Of course, that will make the values of these oscillators what do you call that? Being unnaturally aggressive or being unnatural. So this makes them unreliable at this point. Okay, exaggerated, that's the word that I was trying to mention. So the values of RSI, historical volatility, and DMI are exaggerated at this point. So this is the dominant range. Let me just zoom this out. So for JEO, the dominant range with respect to the closing price of 0.9, wow, it looks like everything is a dominant range. But since the closing price of 0.9 is toward the intraday low, I will put a heavier weight between 0.88 to 0.88 to 0.95. That's the primary dominant range that I'm seeing here. Overall, the momentum power indicator is bearish for APO. The mood of the top 10 brokers for today was also bearish. So my overall sentiment for APO is also bearish. I would suggest, if you have been trading APO for a few trading days already, I suggest that you preempt your trailing stop loss as soon as possible. Don't you see this red volume bar here that engulfs all the other volume to its left hand side? And besides, there's also a daily volume related concern that I see on APO's chart. So it moved aggressively, therefore it moved up aggressively, therefore what do you expect? It will go down aggressively as well, especially if its ascent in price was purely a technical move, if it was not fundamentally backed up. Okay, so I am bearish on APO. Preempt your trailing stop loss. Adjust the percentage of risk that you applied in calculating your trailing stop loss. Now, if you're asking me if it's okay to enter a new position, no. Hold your horse. Don't do that. There are no buy signals. Okay, next. KPPI. It closed today at 12.56. Support remains at 12.32, which is in confluence with the 38.2% retracement of the Fibonacci. Resistance is at 16.4 in confluence with the 61.8%. Now, I'd like to give a special shout out to one of the subscribers who asked me in the forum this afternoon where to find the Fibonacci on the trading view using First Metrosec Pro. It's a good thing I did not forget. So here, how do you find the Fibonacci here? So first you click this icon and then click on Fib retracement. The star right here is colored because I wanted it to be, I added it into my favorites. That's why you see here a movable, a dockable panel for my favorite indicator. So you click this one, Fibonacci, or assuming it's not in my favorites, all you have to do is click on Fibonacci retracement, then click anywhere you'd like to plot it. So let's say in the case of KPPI, my swing low is right here, there, then my swing high is right there. So let me just remove that. Okay, so that's how you find and plot your Fibonacci. All right, so there you go. So I already gave you my analysis for KPPI. So the foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 400,000 pesos. It's an insignificant amount still relative to how they perform among index stocks. Okay, so now I'm not going to mention anything about these oscillators right here because it's not applicable in this case. It will only be applicable after maybe, no, not maybe, but really after 30 trading days. Trading days, not calendar days. So for KPPI, this is its trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range with respect to the closing price of 12.56. 12.56, where are you? Right here. So the dominant range is between 12.4 to 12.6. So this is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. So overall, our momentum power indicator is bearish for KPPI. KPPI. I think I mentioned 3 P's. KPPI only. Now, the mood of the top 10 brokers for today was bullish. What does it mean? Looks like they had the confidence to buy the dips at this price level. Probably they were hoping that the support at 12.32 will be respected, but that's just pure speculation at this moment. For most of us retail traders, we don't have that much money as they do. They got hundreds of millions, if not billions, in their pockets. For most of us, we only have a few thousand. So let's wait for the momentum power indicator to become bullish before we do a test buy on KPPI. Not at this point. Okay. So next, FB. It closed today at 90.9. Support is at 90.7. Resistance is at 98.6. If it breaks below 90.7, expect the support to be placed at 80 pesos per share. It's let me conclude this one. It's super bearish at this point. It's bearish at this point. The 10 MACD combo is invalid. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 37.5 million pesos. RSI is approaching the classical oversold level. It's still downward sloping. Risk level remains low, but it's not a license for you to do a test buy or top up. No, no, no. The downward momentum is confirmed very strong. Okay, do I still need to say my overall sentiment? It's already bearish, obviously. So anyhow, for the sake of discussion, let me show you the dominant range for FB. So it's between 90.5 to 91 overall. The momentum power indicator is bearish for FB. The true market sentiment, on the other hand, was in contrary to the bearish momentum power indicator because it's bullish. So since what does that mean? It looks like they were also speculating that the support at 90.7 will be respected. But for us retail traders, I don't want you to be in a hurry. We want to be reduce the risk by waiting for the momentum power indicator to become bullish. It's a red candlestick. It has to be a green one before we proceed to the next condition. Remember, there are 4 conditions that we need to ask ourselves, and we have to get 4 yeses for us to have a bullish momentum power indicator. If you attended the Evergreen Strategy Seminar, review your handouts, lesson number 2 for that purpose, 2 and 3, okay? So I'm bearish on FB at this point. Don't enter a new position until such a time that our momentum power indicator is already bullish. All right, next, PXP. It closed today at 12.9. Support is at 10.05. Resistance is at 13.63. That resistance level proves to be very strong. It has been for almost a week. Traders have been trying to break above that level to no avail. Let's see tomorrow. But as far as our prevailing data is concerned, the 10 MACD combo is already invalid. Even MACD already broke below the signal line. That's a death cross already. On the other hand, foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 2.3 million. Still an insignificant amount if you'd like to ask me that. RSI is already in the neutral territory. It's downward sloping. Risk level is already high for PXP, not a newbie friendly stock, risk level wise. The upward momentum is still very strong, but again, it struggles. It struggles to break above 13.63. Now the dominant range here, let's see. Okay, the dominant range with respect to the closing price of 12.9, which is actually the intraday low. See that? 12.9, it's the intraday low. It's between 12.9 to 13 pesos per share. So overall, this makes the momentum power indicator bearish. The mood of the top 10 brokers, or the true market sentiment for today, was neutral. So don't enter a new position yet. Now, if you have PXP and it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, I suggest that you respect your trailing stop loss. Hold your position, but don't top up. Don't average down. It doesn't make sense averaging down, at this point. Okay? Just hold your position. Do you have to be alarmed by preempting your trailing stop loss? Based on the size of the volume for today, I see no alarming reason for you to adjust your percentage of risk applied in calculating your trailing stop loss. Okay. Next, we got SHLPH. It closed today at 32.35. Support is at 29.3, which is in confluence with a 61.8% extension of our down Fibonacci Resistance is at 37.4. Oh well, SHLPH keeps on digging every single day. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 48.4 million pesos. It's the biggest daily net foreign selling since when? Let's see. Since December last year. New record of daily net foreign selling. So it's all the more that we should avoid SHLPH, at least for now. Not forever, but at least for now. Okay? The 10 MACD combo is invalid. The 3 simple moving averages that I'm using are in a perfect bearish alignment. I am using 10, 50, and 200-day SMAs. RSI is already dancing inside the classical oversold level, but there are no signs of reversals yet. Risk level remains low, and the downward momentum is confirmed very strong. The dominant range is between 32.35 to 32.5. Overall, the momentum power indicator is bearish. The true market sentiment, on the other hand, was bullish for SHLPH today. But don't buy the dips yet. We are better off waiting for our momentum power indicator to become bullish. SHLPH could get cheaper. It could get cheaper. So we have to be very careful and stick to our processes. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense attending to the seminar or subscribing here if we're not going to follow the processes. Okay? I am bearish on SHLPH. Don't enter a new position. I can't emphasize that enough. So, that's the last stock for today's video. So, there you go. So you've heard my technical analysis for the 10 stocks for today in preparation for the last trading day of the week and of the month. So it's going to be a bear month on Monday. Wow, Merry Christmas. All right. Anyway, for those of you who have not attended the Evergreen Strategy in Trading and Investing in the Philippine Stock Market Seminar, which is composed of 6 lessons, I urge you to attend this seminar. Okay, attend this seminar. Click visit our website at www.equilis.com and then click on seminars. And let me just show you the schedule here. September 28 in Makati, October 26 in Davao, November 23rd in Cavite, January 25 in Baguio, February 29 in Pampanga, and March 28 in Cebu. I suggest that you attend this one in Makati because this is going to be my second to the last seminar for the year. This year, second to the last seminar in Luzon this year. Okay, so attend this one in Makati. It's going to be 1 month from now. So if you are subscribed for 1 year, you automatically get a 50% discount. So just register here, click the link, register, then you will receive an automated email that contains instructions on how to pay for your ticket and all other details. So just pay half the price. It's 3,250. The full price is 6,500 for the non-1 year subscribers. So the early bird rate until this week is at 4,995. Still a relatively good discount from the base rate of 6,500. Okay, so attending this seminar is a prerequisite of your subscription. You will understand things better, and hopefully by the end of the seminar, you already know what I also know and what I do, from stock selection all the way to the execution of your buying and selling plans, from A to Z. That's what I personally do whenever I do short-term trading and long-term investing. Then partner it with your subscription at Equilis Analytics. If you're going to listen to these videos every single day, every evening, well, perhaps by the end of the 6-month period, we already have the same nuances. All right. Anyhow, my name is JZ De Guzman, and I wish you a profitable and a disciplined last trading day of the week and of the month. Have a great day.